Welcome back everyone to the videos of what makes up a talented athlete. In this video we will be exploring the potential biological and environmental factors that could potentially heavily influence how talented an athlete is. As we discovered from the previous video, there isn't a clear way of describing a talented athlete, so the ideas I'll be giving to you will be opinions based on research around the topic title, which will be biological factors. There isn't just one biological factor that makes up an athlete potentially being talented. It can be a cluster of factors that makes the athlete. It is important to point out having a biological factor doesn't automatically build you to be talented. I'll explore how it impacts top level athletes. If we use Gagne in 1999 again, and looking back at his model of giftedness and talent, part of his model focuses on intrapersonal catalysts. I'm going to delve into this section of the model and explore the biological factors. One aspect of the intrapersonal catalyst is the physical aspect, the anthropometry of the athlete, their human body. So in general, lots of Kenyan runners have long legs and thin lower legs. This gives them a positive impact as the sport requires a long stride. It gives them an advantage to the person with maybe smaller legs, and then the thin legs allows minimal weight to be carried, leading to a positive impact on their performance and overall giving them an advantage whilst running. Kenyan athletes have a culture that affects them biologically. They live at a high altitude. This is good for endurance training as their VO2 max is increased, meaning they can utilise more oxygen and take in more oxygen per minute, allowing the athletes to work at a higher intensity for a longer period. The higher altitude also puts more stress on their body. When it comes to national finals, they effectively have less stress on their body. Moreover, because the altitude is so high in Kenya, the metres above sea level is higher than average. This is at 2,800 metres. This means limited oxygen is available when training, and this further increases their VO2 max whilst training, which positively benefits their performance and hence makes them look more talented. I'm going to focus on a person called Martin Khatola. He is a Kenyan long distance marathon runner. Just to give you a little bit of a background, he won the London Marathon in 2005, 2007 and 2008. He won the New York Marathon in 2003 and 2007, and he also won the Great North Run in 2007 and 2009. These are really good statistics to show how good of a runner he was. There are a number of reasons as to why the biological factors are taking place. When we focus on the really good marathon runners, there's no coincidence that a lot of the best runners come from parts of Africa. Martin Lau, that we use as a case study, was born in Kenya and is possibly one of the reasons why to his great success. Kenya is built up on a flat land, making it easier to practice running. The surface is therefore similar to track, and therefore people in Kenya can already practice on competition-like surfaces. This is at no extra cost to them. They have a very high VO2 max systems because of the limited transportation, which restricts Kenyans to either walk or to get places on time, so run. Moreover, the distance to school for Kenyan school children is very vast. To get to school on time, you've got to run, increasing their VO2 max day by day. And finally, to try and give you an idea of life in Kenya, it is very simple. You either run or you sleep. This is in the sense of when you go to work, you run to the shops, and then you sleep. Kenya and a lot of other countries in Africa are underdeveloped, so life is stripped back to its basic needs to survive, allowing them to really focus just on their running. The biopsychosocial model has become an increasingly popular way of characterising human development. This was said by Kiesler in 1999. This model suggests a dynamic interaction between biological, psychological and social factors that all play a significant role in human functioning. This was said by Engel in 1997. Failure to acknowledge these factors, possibly not focusing on social perspectives, puts you in danger of missing the nature of human development. This is taken from Abbott et al. In 2005. It all links back to my point made at the very start. There is not just one way of explaining how an athlete is talented. Everything, including facts in this video, must be taken into consideration. Similar to the biopsychosocial model is the ecological model. I feel it links well with the Kenyan athletes. The ecological model funnels down to what makes up a human. The ecological model is made up of the microsystem. This is the Kenyan athlete, and what surrounds this is different layers. Firstly, the microsystem. This includes family and their genes, and then you've got the exosystem. This can be potentially influenced with media, and then their friends of the family of yours. You then got finally the macrosystem, the outer layer. This is made up of the culture of the human and their social class. This works with all athletes, the same as the biosocial system. It takes into account all factors. It's no coincidence that the factors I've listed about talented marathon runners can all be placed in both of these systems. And lastly, some really important statistics I've found to back up all the points I've made. One, from Salton in 1996 and Scott et al. In 2003, factors such as altitude and distance travelled to school each day have also been proposed to account partially for the success of East African runners. You then got a higher proportion of Ethiopian runners travelled long distances to school each day by running compared with a control group in an experiment. This was from Scott et al. In 2003. And lastly, Kenyan boys who travelled to school by walking and running had a 30% higher VO2 max than those who did not. This was from Salton et al. In 1995. Thank you for listening. I'd like to finally leave you with a quote from Martin Lau.